This is a quick tutorial on using Aseprite to bring in sequential frames of an animation and turn it into a sprite sheet that you can use on the Matrix portal or wherever you want to use a sprite sheet. So I've already rendered out of Maya the fireworks, little fireworks explosion. So I'm going to go to Open File in Aseprite. And I rendered them with sequential numbers. I didn't even use frame padding. I think you can, and usually I do, but here I didn't for whatever reason. So these are PNG files, and there's a whole ton of them. I'll go ahead and hit OK to open just the first one. And since they have sequential frame numbers, it makes this suggestion, do you want to load the following frames? So this is what the timeline in Aseprite looks like, and so it's essentially just sequential layers. You can think of it that way. If you hit play in here, it'll play back. You can do per frame timing here, but I don't think that'll translate to the sprite sheet. So make sure, well, the timing won't matter in here. If you want to preview stuff, you could pick a whole bunch of frames and adjust their frame properties to change the duration, but it shouldn't matter because you're going to control that with the sprite sheet playback. So when you're happy with that, you can make some changes if you want. Any edits you make are going to happen per frame, so you could go in here and add in some whatever on some frames, and there they are. I'm not going to do that. So now to export, I'll go to the file menu here. You won't see this because I don't have it displayed. File, export sprite sheet. There's the dialog box. So here we can see a preview of it shows up here in Aseprite while you're working on it, which is nice. So there's the sequential vertical frames. Looks kind of cool. And you can go and adjust things like the layout if you're using a horizontal layout, if you're using a grid. You can do a packed sprite sheet. We've just been using vertical for the stuff Melissa and I did. I'm not going to merge duplicates. I'm not going to ignore empty. I don't have any constraints here. Let's see. You can probably leave this stuff alone if you haven't messed around with layers. Visible layers is a good one here. Borders, I'm not using any frame padding. We don't need to. And then the output, you can pick your output file name and file type. So I'm going to set this to a BMP, which I think I set in preferences as my default for this. And I'll call this firework2-sheet. You can name it whatever you want. Hit OK, hit export, and boom, it just exported it. I'll just open that in here. So there's the sprite sheet, same thing that we saw in the preview. And that should be ready to go inside your Matrix portal. Have fun.